Hi! Welcome to my release party. Come on in, come on in. Hi! Hello, happy Saturday, everybody. Hi! Congratulations, everybody. We have officially released the Call Down the Dragon EP. Woo! What a day, man. What a day. Love your music. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are enjoying Call Down the Dragon, because I know I am enjoying your reactions to it, and I've been getting so many sweet messages, and that just makes me so happy. Oh, thank you. Yes, my curly hair. I tried to brush it out, but it just twisted it back into this very curly shape. Your background is beautiful. Thank you. My lovely shelf, handmade by my own father. He did a very good job. Round of applause to him. Yes, so today we are celebrating the release of Call Down the Dragon. We're going to be diving into the songs, listening to them, and we're also going to be counting down to the premiere of the Call Down the Dragon music video, which is happening on YouTube in about 30 minutes. So in that time, we're going to be talking a little bit, chatting, and then once it premieres, everybody just head on over to the YouTube site. And as you can see, I think it's on the side, I have my YouTube channel, like the name of it right here. So pull out your phones or your computers and get right to it, because in 30 minutes, that music video is releasing. Super exciting. And I'll still be here, just chilling, watching you guys on YouTube. And then once the music video finishes, we're just going to come back here and we're going to talk about it. So very exciting. I love the echo in your voice. Yeah, I did a lot of reverb. Do you want me to ramp it up? I can totally ramp it up. Let's see. What else we got in here? I can also do this. Hello, hello, hello. I was nothing, then the air gave me form. Bum, bum, bum. That's what you hear when you go to heaven. Okay, I'll do it back to normal reverb. Yeah, let me bring it down for a little bit. When I sing, I'll bring it back up. But I don't want to overwhelm you guys with the reverb. I'm so excited to see the release. Me too. We worked really hard on this music video, and my director, Salazi, he is amazing. He worked on the Big Bad Wolf music video, so I knew I had to have him for this because his work is just so cinematic. Yeah, and so he did an excellent job. Our cast and crew were absolutely amazing, and yeah, the video is so wonderful. I am really happy with it. I had a vision, and it came true, and you're going to get to see that in 30 minutes. Ooh. So the reason why I had to move my live stream up an hour earlier is because Eurovision is happening, and me not living in Europe at the moment was not aware of that, and thankfully a kind fan let me know, and so we're starting early today. And if some of you have to go watch Eurovision, you can, but I'll still be here chatting and chilling, and we're going to enjoy our celebration. I even have cake. Do you really want to miss out on the cake? I'm just saying. Yeah. And I'll be performing a little bit, so stick around for that. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. And if you have any questions about the album, feel free to let me know. Because I'm doing this on a computer, if you are asking any questions in the Q&A chat, I won't be able to see it, so you just have to comment it right on the normal chat. But yeah, all right, I think it's almost time to get started. Oh, you love Set in Stone? I'm so glad. Yes, Set in Stone is like a really hardcore one, and you're going to get to know the behind-the-scenes story of that one soon as well. Alrighty, so let's start, shall we? Let's start with the first song on the EP, Seraph. Why don't we have a listen to that for a little bit, and let me know how the volume levels are. Let's see. blue, an ocean of peace. You broke the surface with the flap of your wings. Shut from heaven, all it spared from harm. Weak heart diving right into my arms. I'd do anything to keep you here. Pluck your feathers just to keep you near. I'm a little love forever, you're forever for me. A little love forever, you're forever for me. I'm a little love forever, you're forever for me. I've never been a beggar, but please don't leave. Somebody said they're mentally crying. I understand that. The feet unused, had you stumbling. Grip my hand, puppet cut from string. You watch the stars with tense desire. Alrighty. So, somebody actually asked a very interesting question, which I will get to in a second. But let's talk about Seraph. I have my notes. So, Seraph started very interestingly. Originally, it all started because a fan of mine said they wanted to hear a song about a bird flying over a battlefield and describing what they saw. So I started with the line, "The sky was blue, an ocean of peace. You broke the surface with the flap of your wings." That was the original intention of the song. But then I was like, I don't know, this doesn't fit to that idea. This fits to something else. And so I continued writing it, and it was this really, really long verse of just like the whole story of an angel falling, this human finding that angel, taking care of it, but also feeling like this jealousy for what the angel has in the sky, that life outside of theirs at the moment. But it was so long and so complicated that I was like, I'm gonna drop this, and I completely forgot about it. And then last June, I went to LA, and I was in a session. It was just a regular writer's session, and it was just like a spare of the moment, like, hey, let's just get together and write something. And there I met my wonderful producer, Lucky, and I told him the idea of like this bird falling from the sky. And before we knew it, we had some piano chords going, and he was bringing in these marching drums, and it was just so like nostalgic almost. And while he was like busy like getting the verse and the chorus ready, I was writing the lyrics over it in real time, just like breaking down basically the old lyrics and fitting them into something that actually worked. And that's how Seraph came to be. So the real message behind that one is like this jealousy, this how something unrequited can turn bitter, and if you obsess over something too much, or if you glorify it, you're taking away from it, and it also harms in the process. And I think that really came across nicely. And we all go through moments where we yearn for something that we can't have, or we have these dark thoughts. And I just wanted to show here, you're not alone, but at the same time, don't do what this person does, because keeping an angel from flying is a very bad idea. So let's get into the lyrics. So I'm a little of forever, you're forever for me. That line specifically relates to a quote I had heard on some post, and it went along the lines of, I'm just a small moment in your life, but you're everything to me. So like an immortal, the life, 1 year flashes like a second before their eyes, but 1 year means everything to us. So when you're faced with an angel, their life is so grand and ginormous, and you don't really mean that much to them, and that hurts. So I'm a little of forever, of your forever, but you're forever for me. And that's what I wanted to say with the chorus. In verse 2, we hear lyrics that go, the feet unused had you stumbling. grip my hand, puppet cut from string. And this is where the savior complex comes in, because you have this damaged creature, and only you, so you say, only you can fix them, and they rely on you. They're dependent on you, and that feeling, that savior complex, which we also have with animals, like when we see an animal in need, we try to save it, which isn't wrong, and it's a very pure intention. But then you have this angel, and you're like, oh, like only I can help you, only I can save you. But as they start to heal, the balance shifts, and you're no longer in control, and that is a very uncomfortable feeling for the narrator, and which makes them want to pluck those feathers right out of the wings. But yeah, and then, and it's so crazy how Seraph wouldn't have happened if I didn't say yes to this just out of the blue writer session. But through that, I got to meet my wonderful producer, who also produced Call Down the Dragon. Thank you so much, Lucky. And yeah, Seraph wouldn't have been here, and I'm really happy it is, because I traveled far and wide in Los Angeles, up and down the hills, recording this song and making videos of it, and it was just such a wonderful experience. Yeah, so that is the intro to the album, and especially with the beautiful harmonic beginning, I thought that was just perfect for an intro. So I was like, if this song is getting on this EP, it has to be the first one, and there it was. Somebody had just asked if there were any songs that I wanted on the EP but didn't make it, and honestly, there weren't any, because I was writing all these songs in this month in Los Angeles, and I just knew they were perfect for each other. I didn't really even think I want this song on here, or I want that. I was just like, nope, it's set in stone. Call Down the Dragon, Seraph, Maiden's Night. I immediately knew that these had to be together. So yeah, it was a no-brainer. All right, moving on to Maiden's Night. One of my absolute favorite songs on this album, because it is just so upbeat. And I mean, after Bears and Wolves, I was like, I need something a little bit more fun, because we got to balance out the emotions a little bit. Here is Maiden's Night.
Where are you going? It's the middle of the night. Not even birds have taken their flight. I said I am going where I will be free. So forget about me. Out the window and away from the house. Shoulders lift with each step that I count. And there I see the big old oak. Follow the light. And there we are under the stars. Bright smiles and open arms. Eyes unseen. Oh, it's so freeing. Clasping hands, dancing in tempo, but there's no music, just our meadow. It feels like a dream. Are we free? Hours pass on and the moon sits up high, casting light as we run through the wild.
All right, Maiden's Night. Maiden's Night was created almost, I believe, 2 years ago. And I had originally pitched it that year, but it seemed it just wasn't the right time, so I kind of kept it in the back of my mind. Let me turn it down just a little bit more. It is so energetic. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I was just like, it's not the right time. I kept it in the back of my mind, and then as I was preparing for the EP, I was like, I want something really energetic, and then I was like, Maiden's Night, instantly Maiden's Night. But the thing was, the beginning of Maiden's Night, first one, Where Are You Going? It's the middle of the night, that part had a really weird tempo, and I had been told by another producer that that just wouldn't work. So I was really disheartened, because I really liked how funky it was. But then I met my producer Arthur, and also my co-writer Brian, and he was like, nah, this is really cool, like we gotta bring this in. So it was just the three of us for 2 days, and me and two dudes, and we were all maidens. We were all just girls making alchemy in that room, They were a part of the girls. It was girls night. And yeah, and we just brought the energy into this the song that I had only really heard on piano, and like I wanted it to be very rhythmic, have like lots of percussion. And then this part, the bridge, was actually not supposed to repeat. It had two parts. It was the "Don't you worry, go back to sleep, no need to know where I will be," and then it was another part, and that was just gonna end like there, right there. But then my co-writer Brian was like, "No, like this should repeat. It's catchy." And then there we were, just like doing it over and over again. And I really like how it ramps up from this almost like bonfire song to this witchy, culty, you're gonna get burned at the stake kind of atmosphere. And I think that just makes the song really special because I did not do a song like that since ever. And like this is the first song that I released that has this kind of like repetition, and I just love experimenting with those kind of things. Yeah, and then for Maiden's Night, of course, we had the music video, and there I also went to Los Angeles early this year, and I shot this wonderful, majestic music video with the director Connor Lang and my maidens, and they were absolutely terrific. We were in a very dark tunnels, and there were bats, and it was in the middle of the night, quite literally, and it was wet and it was cold. It was very cold, but they stayed strong, and we had such a beautiful time. And also, like, the location was so cool. And in daytime, it didn't look like much, but then when it got dark and we set up all the candles, it was just like, whoa. And then we had the orb, which was originally supposed to be an egg, but I said, no, we're not doing an egg because that gets too weird. So we did an orb, and it was beautiful because it represented the moon. And yeah, Maiden's Night is just like really easygoing. Just, I want to be out. I don't want to be, trapped in my body. I don't want to be trapped in society. Just let me be free. Let me do whatever I want to do. And, like, don't worry, go back to sleep. Like, you're basically telling the other person in the room, like, shh, like, it's okay. Like, you go back to sleep. I'm going to go have fun. You go sleep. It just ended out terrific. And it is actually one of my favorite songs to perform live because of the energy. And we made these wonderful, special Maiden's Night pins to celebrate it. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, you probably can't see this, but it's a Maiden's Night pin, and it's very cute. And it has 3 maidens on it with some stars and some glittery blue background. And these are being sold currently on my Etsy shop. And you can find that Etsy shop in the link tree in my bio, both on TikTok and on Instagram. And it's my little token. It's perfect for backpacks and jackets and tote bags and whatnot. But yes. All right, we are 14 minutes away from Call Down the Dragon music video, which is so exciting. Yes, I also find the pin very adorable. I already have it on my backpack, and I was actually handing them out at the Mystic Fate Edinburgh performances, and yeah, it was just so wonderful seeing people go back home and, have this token of the night that they spent there. Outfit Slays, thank you so much. Love your voice so much, thank you. Ooh, 13, now it's still 14 minutes. I want to get to the music video so bad. So excited. Don't worry. Somebody said on the YouTube live that they're going to record the reaction. Yes, please do. I would love to see your reaction to it. And I can't wait to tell you about all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Man, the music video was really, really crazy because we shot this in December, and I don't live in a region where it gets terribly cold, but because it's typically very warm, when it does get cold, that shift is terrifying because you're not used to it. Your body is not used to that chill. But thankfully, I had this wonderful full set of armor provided by Epic Armory from Ukraine, and it kept me very warm. But I had like 3 layers on. And you'll actually see a video about that soon, but I had pants, I had 3 different skirts, I had turtlenecks, then I had padding inside my armor to keep me nice and cozy and comfortable, and oh my god, but still, like, it was cold. Yeah, and then we had fires going and all kinds of fun stuff. And we actually found a castle in the US, which is such a surprise because you'd think like castles in the US, like medieval castles in the US. But yeah, we found one and it fit perfectly. And I had some very fun moments on top of the castle towers. And you'll see that in a very quick second. Armor was a wonderful touch, absolutely, I agree. I always wanted to have a set of armor. I didn't want to do this in just a dress or anything. I really wanted to feel empowered, and there is a side to me that doesn't get to like express itself a lot, which is the masculine side. And I love suits. I love suits of armor specifically, and I don't have any of those. So when I when I collaborated with Epic Armor, it was just like, oh my god. And their armor is impeccable, like truly perfect fit to size. Like I really do feel like I'm going to battle. I especially like the choker, the choker of armor. It's just, it's wonderful. And it's actually really, really comfortable, which was such a surprise. But after like, I don't know, 12 hours of filming, at one point I was just like, oh my god, I need a break. And then finally when the armor came off, I felt so light and it felt so weird because I had just been like carrying it around all day. It wasn't too heavy, but it was still like after a while, it's just heavy. And so I almost felt like I was gonna fly away after I took off the armor. Oh, warrior on their last leg kind of vibe. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I was indeed on my last leg, physically, just like in the dirt there. Yes, and and I should tell you about the cast. Oh my god, we had the most amazing cast and crew for the music video. You see, last year I was performing at the Heinefel Festival in Texas, and the people of Heinefel were just so enthusiastic, and they also had the most incredible outfits and weaponry and passion. And so when I was like, we need people to be fighting in this music video, immediate thought was, like, hey, why not have the Heinefel crew be a part of it? And they said yes, and it was so wonderful, and they showed up. It was cold, but they still showed up, and like in the most amazing armor and outfits, and when we said action, it wasn't just like, they really went for it. Like I got worried people were like getting hurt. I hope they didn't, but they were really going at it with their swords. So like method acting was 10/10, and we even had fake blood on set. So yeah, we were just like covered in dirt and blood and like people dying on the ground, and yeah. It was just like, and even my director Selassie, he would be like, and action, and then he'd be like, oh, that was a good kill, It was just so funny. So we spent like really half of the day just shooting those battle scenes because they were really, really epic. To be slain in battle for the video is an honor. Thank you. I was just watching on the sidelines. I wasn't even in the battle. I was just like sitting there like eating my popcorn like, oh, another one down. Would you ever consider making a song inspired by the movie Brave? I'm not sure. Sometimes I find inspiration to make stories from stories that already exist, but most of the time I generally just like to take what's in my head, just like create my own stories based off of like really old dramatic folktales, or just simply from, from narration, like Call Down the Dragon, even though it started because I had read a book that wrecked me and I needed to somehow like write about it. It was intentioned to be its own story, a knight that is on the verge of defeat and just musters up that courage to continue fighting even though all allies have left them and they don't really see any light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not just about battle, it's about life, because we all feel like that very often, where we're just like, when is this going to end? We're defeated. We're failing. Why is this happening? And you just got to realize, like, that may be happening, but that doesn't mean it is the end. You can still get up. As I said in my video before, like, defeat does not mean that you fail, truly. And that's really what it is about. There's just moments where just like I really need that message to to get back up, and I hope you feel that as you listen to it. Call Down the Dragon makes you want to finish the Poppy War series. You definitely should. I highly recommend the Poppy War series. It is, it warms your heart, and it breaks it into pieces, and then it tapes it back together, and then it burns it, and then it incinerates it. But I would not want to have read. I wish I could read it for the first time again. It was just so good. It's one of those series that just stick with you because R.F. Kuang is an insanely talented writer, and her characters are just so diverse and like complex in their emotions, and nobody's the bad guy and nobody's the good guy, and that's what makes it kind of crazy. Would you ever make a song on Greek mythology? My friend, stay tuned for the end of this live stream because I have something very fun to tell you all. Yes, I would do Greek mythology songs. I have done Greek mythology songs, and they shall be releasing at some point. Wink. I'm picking up the Poppy Wars series because of Call Down the Dragon. Oh my god, yes! If I can influence one person to do it, then my mission is completed. Please do. It is an amazing book. I will warn you, though, it can get a little gory, so if you... because it is based off of real events that occurred in China, so be warned. But yeah, it is amazing. Oh, we have 6 minutes left. All right, everybody. Start getting into the YouTube Call Down the Dragon music video premiere because we really only have 6 minutes left. Up here is the name of my channel, and it should be the first thing you see upon being there. Oh, I already see some people waiting. Woo. Somebody says ready to conquer empires. And yes, I will be here throughout the entire thing. So as you go watch the music video, I'll just be sitting here and commenting and replying to people in the chat room on YouTube Live. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Your necklace is so gorgeous. Thank you so much. My little sword necklace. I still have a lot of sword earrings left actually at the moment. Would anybody be interested in having some sword earrings? Should I add those to my Etsy shop? Let me know. Also, I have a cake here on the side. I am so ready to have a bite of that once the music video finishes. Your music makes me feel as if I'm not alone. That makes me so happy, Grace. Thank you for being here. You got an armor but didn't participate in the battle. Okay, I wouldn't say that I didn't participate because I wasn't in the battle, but I did have my own solo fight. I had been practicing for 3 days straight. I had been practicing a sword fight, and we made it happen. And it was tough because moving around in armor is not easy, especially actual metal armor. Very so not easy. Even with just foam swords, very, very difficult. And it was cold. Did I mention it was very cold? So I was just yeah. But yeah, I'm a very tiny person, so I have to put a lot of swing into my moves, and then sometimes I just be swinging and then completely get turned around on my butt. When and where could I watch you sing live? I will actually be announcing something very soon, but I guess I can already say it now. I will be performing at the Echo in Los Angeles on June 13th, so yes, you can see me live in Los Angeles. And who knows, maybe I have some more tours coming up. Who knows? She was battling the CGI dragon. Unfortunately, guys, there will not be a CGI dragon. That's a budget I cannot afford. Can we see your tattoo? Oh, absolutely. It's kind of hidden here, but here it is. My sword tattoo. It's always fun wearing sword earrings and then having my sword tattoo out, and people are like, is that the same thing? I also have one here, and I have one here. My little 7. Yep. Can I have a cake? No, you shall not have cake. This is my slice, just for me. Maybe a little slice. Actually, I have a fork that is like very dark Earl King themed. I actually got this in France. But yes, dark Earl King themed. Would you come to Germany? Oh, absolutely. I want to come to Germany so badly. You guys keep asking me, and yes, I want to. I want to come back to the fatherland. Take me. Soon, 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 soon. Oh yes, get a sword tattoo. Sword tattoos are awesome. Highly recommend. Will you come to France? I want to come to France, very much so. I've only been once so far. I would love to come back. Do you like Billie Eilish? Oh, I love Billie Eilish. We even had a release day and release title together. Birds of a Feather. Yay, 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 yay. You guys are so excited. I love it. Would you come to England? Absolutely. I was just recently in Scotland. I know that's different, but I would want to come back to the Great Island again. The United Kingdom. But I do not miss that very cold weather. Gosh, it is difficult packing for very cold weather when all you have is dresses and tank tops. I am not made for that weather anymore. Do you like Adele? Oh, absolutely. I was a huge Adele fan growing up. Still am, but like I would have the concerts on CD and would watch them. 100%. Be as you drift off, I feel alive on the Maiden's night. Ooh, oh, guys, 1 minute away. Thank you so much, chat. 1 minute away from the music video. We are 1 minute away. I repeat. Oh my god, oh my god. Nobody freak out. Nobody freak out. Okay, guys. Oh my god, it's time. Everybody, let's go premiere. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The premiere will begin shortly. Everybody, head over to YouTube. The music video is starting now. And I'll go mute myself, so go enjoy. Is it over? Is it over? I don't know. Is it over?
Is it over? Did you guys watch it? Say yes.
So good. Thank you. Yes, it's over. Awesome. Oh my god! We watched it! Woo! Okay. Hold up. Let me go. Let me go celebrate. Everybody, happy release to Call Down the Dragon and happy release to the Call Down the Dragon music video. Woo! Yay! Oh my god, look at this cake. Isn't it fancy? I love it. It's mango. Oh my god, and there's even, I know, there's even like a little leaf, little mint leaf. I'm getting puretsuka on my dress. Oh no. But let me just have the itty bittiest bite because I need to go sing in a second. Oh. You just can't sing when you have cake in your throat. It makes it really awkward because then you start going, you know. So, no, this is so good. Oh my god. I wish I could give you guys a piece, but unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. Oh my god, I can't believe we just watched that. Holy heck. Oh, it's so crazy. Yes, it is very good cake. You see on the top we have this like very light whipped cream, and then we have a layer of mango whatever, and then we have a layer of fluffy cake, and then we have another layer of cream, and then we have this gelatinous mango cream. I can't leave it at only one bite. That's not fair. So good. Then we have a little raspberry on top. Oh, okay. I need to stop eating this. Oh, there goes my card. Anyway. Got it. Oh, okay. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. I know, I'm sorry, guys. You want the cake, but I can't give it to you because we're only connected on the screen. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the video. Nom 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 nom. Thank you so much for letting us fight each other for your video. Anytime, Lexi. Anytime. I had so much fun with you guys. So yeah, let's talk about it. So, me. Let me get my notes out again. Right, so I already told you. 3 days before the music video, I was practicing fighting. And I had like this little sequence. It was da, 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 spin around, da, 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 da. And I really had to try to make sure I didn't poke my comrade in the face, nor poke myself in the face. It was cold, it was brutal, but it turned out really, really cool, especially in slow motion. Yes, the weather was really cold. The armor was amazing. Epic Armory is to thank for that. And yeah, and then we had the wonderful cast of Heinafo. I mean, like, you guys were just so amazing. Like I said already, they were like really going at it in the video. Then we had one amazing, talented woman who was dressed exactly like how I imagine a pagan witch to look like, and she was stoking the fire and like really like getting that smoky mood into the room. I think she even singed a bit of her clothing just for that, and it made me feel so bad. But like it was so amazing, and then of course we had the tower scene with the drone, and let me tell you, I have two swords. One of them is really, really heavy, and the other one is semi-heavy. And I use the semi-heavy one to pull it up. It is so difficult holding up a sword the entire time. I was really just like, hold it together, Lilith. Hold it together, Lilith. You gotta look cool for this drone shot. And oh, the castle is called Newman's Castle. It is wonderful. Yes, absolutely go visit it. And oh my god. And then they had me like on this little chair because I was too tiny. You wouldn't be able to see me over the tower wall, so they really had to prop me on a chair so I could not fall because that would be very bad. And then we had the scene outside in the courtyard where everybody's like walking around, greeting me, and yeah, we just wanted to have this feeling of like you are with other people, but you are alone. You know, like your battle is a personal one. And even though there are so many people around you, you don't feel like you have the support. And that's a part of the battle. Not just the physical fight, but also the mental fight. And in the feast we had some fake bread, some very old German bread, and some goblets. And at one point they were just getting like really into it, that they just like started like throwing the bread, and like there was like water all over the table, and it was just like a complete mess. But exactly how we would think warriors would have their dinner. And I was just sitting there in my chair, just like, trying to keep it together, trying to be in this scene. But it was so funny. It was really, really funny. Oh man. The drone shot turned out so good. Thank you so much. I'm not the only short person here. Yay, yes. Definitely not. Oh man. Yes, it really did. It really did hurt my arm. And like I said, after I took the armor off for the feast scene, I felt so light. It was almost like, this doesn't feel right anymore. But yeah, it was so amazing. And how we finished really late in the day, but like energy was still up and everybody was doing such an amazing job. I think my favorite part about the music video is the gate scene where I'm just standing in front of the castle, kind of guarding it. I had that one envisioned right from the get-go, and it was just exactly how I wanted it to be. I was so pleased with it, and you'll be seeing more of those scenes soon on social media. Yes, so let's talk about Call Down the Dragon in general, the song, right? So the chorus, I think, is the most important part, right? Can you hear me? I am calling. Like, what does that mean? In a way, it's like, Jesus, take the wheel. Because there's always like that one moment in your life where you're just like, you're done, you're defeated, you're tired, you can't do this anymore. And you would really like to call on some higher power to just take it off from you. But that doesn't happen, and it doesn't work. However, just by, like, can you hear me? Like, you're reaching out. The fact that you are even, like, reaching out and trying gives you the knowledge, like, oh, you can do this. Like, you might be on the ground, you might be defeated, but you're slowly getting up, even though you're calling on something else, you're also calling on something within you to continue, like the dragon inside you, if you will. So yeah, can you hear me? I'm calling, bring me triumph, stop my falling. It is both a desperate cry for help, but also a battle call for yourself to just like get up, do that shit, get it done. You're gonna be okay. Yeah, Jesus, take the wheel. That should have been the entire EP name. Just Jesus, take the wheel. Dragon, take the wheel. Yeah, and then in verse 2, it kind of describes how the warrior even got in that situation. I was nothing, then the air gave me form, just a wind until I rose to a storm. In a way, this person is also a bit of a, like, if I were to give this character a personality, I would say he's a bit of not a narcissist, but definitely somebody who kind of abused their situation, rose up to power, was told they're special, like they were just like a small spark, but then they became something huge, but then they took it for granted, their power and their responsibility to it, and then it's like suddenly no more allies, no more people to trust, and yeah, the land is just still. And I think the most important line of all is, you can gain, but it is harder to keep, because yes, like you can quickly rise up, but keeping what you have is very difficult. And that doesn't mean just like battles, it's just like your status or work. You can really relate it to anything you want, and it fits because that's how it is. It is hard to hold on to something once you have gained it. Yes, and then we go on to the bridge where it's, I have come too far and seen too much. I have gained so little and lost enough. It's kind of like, like, let's like cut the crap. Like you're almost bitter. You're almost like annoyed that you've done all this and you still aren't getting to the place you want. So you're almost rising up out of spite at that part. You're just, that anger is fueling you to really continue walking down the path that you have chosen for yourself. And actually the bridge took a really long time to write because I wanted to formulate it perfectly. I didn't just want it to be like, oh, I'm tired, let me go back to sleep, but I must fight. Like, I didn't want to do something like that. I really wanted to pick my words carefully, and in the beginning, like the bridge was really long, but then like 2 days before we went to record it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. And yeah, and I really like the "So I rise and tilt my head to the sun. There's one last battle to be won." You acknowledge, like, just live in the small little moment, and then open your eyes and just get to it. So this song really is all about continuing, persisting, if you will. Yeah, thank you. That was my TED Talk. I have gained so little and lost enough, so I rise and tilt my head to the sun. And originally the song was a lot more mellow, like the choruses. Can you hear me? And then in the recording, of course, you get so riled up. So I was like, can you hear me? And like it really got super powerful, which is amazing, super amazing. I see some people talking about musicals. Yes, honestly, I would love to do a tour at some point, like a headline tour where it felt almost like you're going through a musical, but it's just my songs, you know, like a story, story performance. That would be so cool. Alrighty, my friends. Oh, there's something on the back here. Oh yes, Call Down the Dragon, behind the scenes. So, unfortunately, while I was while I was recording Call Down the Dragon, it was like the hottest month in Los Angeles. And unfortunately, in the studio of my producer, Lucky, the AC decided it didn't want to do its job anymore. And so it was sweltering hot inside and outside, like no breeze coming through. And we had like this tiny portable fan, like keeping me alive throughout takes. And I still remember I posted like a picture on my Instagram story being like it's, you know, it's really hard singing because it is a fitness. And then on top of the heat, you just start sweating. And I remember one person even responded and was like, singing isn't a workout. And I'm like, I beg to differ, because it was really hot. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that this song didn't have really any references. Like typically you come with a whole playlist of songs that suit the vibe, or maybe there's like a piano in there that you really like, or a drum that you would like to like kind of have similar to. All I did was give my producer the Kung Fu Panda soundtrack, and he was just like, yeah, this is right. Yeah, we're going to do this. And I really wanted to also mimic kind of, I guess, East Asian instruments like the Urdu, and then, but also at the same time, if you think about it, it can be seen in both ways, because there's like harps involved as well. So it almost feels either Celtic, and then on the other side, it isn't. And I just like how, whichever way you want to see it, it becomes that. So you can think it's an Urdu, or you can think it's a harp. It fits both versions, and I really, really like that. So I just try to keep all those elements together. And of course, the ginormous drums that we had, especially in the last chorus. Oh, so good. I was just sitting there. It was like not 9 p.m. It was probably, actually, it could have been 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. I was just sitting there, exhausted, sweaty, and there was my producer, Lucky, on the keyboard and, like, doing those drums, and it was just, like, it, like, brought me back to life. It was so epic. So crazy. All right, and then let's move on to the last two songs of the EP, the new ones that I very, very much like. The fourth song on the EP is called Dark Earl King, and that one has a very interesting story. I'm seeing Kung Fu Panda. You guys are really liking that. So Dark Earl King has always been in the back of my head. Germanic folktale is always somehow in the back of my head. And I had read a book called Winter Song when I was 14 years old, and I even met the author at a book conference back then. I was just a tiny, wee little thing, and I was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, here's my book. And the story is completely different, but it had the story kind of the Earl King. And I was like, the Earl King, what is that? And then I researched it up, and I realized, oh, this is a Germanic folktale. And the Earl King, in the original poem from Goethe, he steals the souls of children. He'll take them from their homes or from the night and yeah, he just steals their souls, and that is like a very creepy as heck tale. But knowing, if you know me, you know I really like the idea of an anti-hero, and I was just like, ooh, if I could slip into that perspective, it would be really cool. So, like 30 minutes before a production session, I was just like bent over like my computer, and I was just like, tiny feet padding up the steep white caps, and I was just like slowly creating the story. And then in my production session, like we wrote it all the way through, and yeah, and it was just like, it was like a little demo just with like the guitar and really dry vocals. And originally it was just like, we're just gonna have them dry just to do it, you know, just a quick take through. But I was like, you know, I really like the fact that the main vocals are dry. It just fits. It really feels like you're listening to a story being told at a fireplace or just like in your home. It was very intimate to me, and I really like that. And fun fact, the vocals that you hear now are the only vocals that exist of Dark Earl King, which is to say, they are the rough vocals of my demo. Like, there was no pre-existing vocals, and there were none that came after that. I could have re-recorded it, but I was just like, no, I really like how like dry and just raw these vocals are from this just like regular mic while I was sitting there on the couch, and we went along with that. And I think it's perfect, because sometimes going back and doing the recording can almost, I wouldn't say ruin a song, but it can take away from it, because then it's polished, and then it's too clean, and then you lose some of the original intention, and I didn't want to do that. So Dark Earl King is really just like this really rough thing, and then we went back into it, and we did these sing-songy background vocals like Dark Earl King, and me and the producer Stefan, who was the who helped me first produce the song, and my co-writer Dia, we were just sitting there in a circle, and we were like, Dark Earl King, and we had to make our voices like really like Dark Earl King, and just to like make that vibe of children. And yeah, and then we added, like, with my producer Lucky, I added some like really low sounds and like this really creepy like drone that is a voice, and I believe it's actually my voice, but like pitched down. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And yeah, it was just like this really rough and just sinister feeling. I love it. Dark Earl King is quite literally my favorite song of the EP. I just, you know, I'm always like making these like really like energetic and like full songs, and I wanted something that was more like in my roots, and I think it did the job perfectly. I love Dark Earl King. Let's see. Oh yes, and the ending of Dark Earl King was originally supposed to end badly. Like, that child is never going to be seen again. Bye bye, mom. But my own mother was like, no, this can't happen. This is so sad. Please, Lilith, give us a happy ending. So I was merciful, and I made sure that at the end, the child unawarely just like survives and just like goes on with its life, and the Dark Earl King waits for its next opportunity. It's a little open, you know, like an open book. You can think whatever you will happen with the next child who steps into the Dark Earl King's path, you know. Curiosity killed the cat. And then we have Set in Stone, and honestly, I want to play that one, so we shall. The real kicker for the end. This is actually from the chorus, just like a cut vocal.
History's written by winners. Rules were carved by the gods. The purses get fatter, yours will get thinner, but we can even those odds. You fear that time is a circle, and all remains as it was. A life doomed to rinse and repeat, but we can even those odds. The fate isn't chiseled across the length of a blade. Nothing's set in stone, let your future change. They'll try to divide you, take your power away, but nothing's set in stone, the world will change. We march along to our drummer, forget to forge
All right, Set in Stone. I'm seeing some people would say they would love to hear that dark ending. I never wrote it, so unfortunately it does not exist. I had it in my mind, but I was merciful. So Set in Stone originally had a completely different sound to it. It was very rocky, very like dry. The electric guitar was like really the leading element. But now, as you can hear, the drums are kind of like the lead. Everything's very like open spaced, very reverbed, including the background vocals, because before they were like really up close in your face, and they had a grit to it, which I also really liked. But I'll tell you why we completely changed it. So I had written Set in Stone, just like Dark King, like 30 minutes before my session. I already had the first verse finished, and I finished the entire song on my way to the studio. And there with Jaden Seeley, my producer, and Dylan Scott, who is also a writer, we like polished the song up, and we made it really rocky, because they're really rocky dudes. So that's how we did it. But then I was just like, I really want it to be like King Arthur, you know, like a sword and a stone, like, because the whole point of King Arthur is his fate is then decided the moment he pulls the sword out of the stone. But it's like, why does fate even exist? Like, why do we think we must stick to some kind of script that we're told exists, right? So that's how the idea of like changing your fate, choosing your path, that's how it all came to be. And then also in a way it's a bit of a political statement, because the verse 2 is, you know, we march along to our drummer, forget to forge our own path. And like a lot of times I feel like people just go with the flow, which is fine, but if you're going with the flow with very important things like war and all sorts of awful things that people in power do, it's not good. We as individuals, you know, have a voice, but then we kind of go hive mind at some points, and we just like, oh, we can't do anything, I guess we'll just have to, you know, let it be. And that's not healthy. I believe so. And then, you know, in verse 2, it continues with, they're up there skimming the ending, laughing and raising a glass, dividing the spoils of war. No, we never learn from the past. And that's how it is. I tend to believe that history is a cycle, and if we just keep letting it happen because we think there's no other choice, nothing will happen. We got to break that cycle. And I feel like a lot of people these days are open more to breaking that cycle. You see that even in families. A lot of people are talking about breaking family trauma cycles and things that were deemed normal, but today we see as harmful. Like, breaking that is so important. And we can also do that as society. If we stand up together, we can create change. And, you know, like a lot of things that happen in history, for instance, in America, civil rights movement, they didn't happen from inside a courtroom or inside a Congress. They happened outside on the streets, outside in restaurants, outside on buses. It didn't happen because powerful people said, okay, let's just stop segregation. They happened because people got on the streets and they did something about it. And it was a battle, but they won. Change comes from the people. And if we believe we can't do anything, then we're not paying tribute and not paying our respects to the people that came before us that created the change that we live in now. If they had thought the same thing, like, oh, we can't do anything, we would still be living some very different realities. So that's really what I want to say with the song. You can change your life, and we together can change our history, our future. That is the very, very deep message of Set in Stone. And yeah, so with Set in Stone, the production, we made it really rough. But like I said, I wanted this medieval aesthetic, I suppose you could say. So I went back and I thought about it, and then I put some songs together and I sent them to my producer, and we're like, I think this is where we're going. And he came back with these tower bells and more reverb and the beginning that is almost like a little pop, and I was just like, yeah, like this feels so much more like regal and smooth, just like marble, which so many of our constitutions and whatnot are written in. You know, like I like to think of songs as images, and so when I think of Set in Stone, I think of like the stone from King Arthur, and I think of marble because a lot of government buildings are made out of like those kind of materials, and it feels smooth like that, if that makes sense. So that is how that song completely switched its sound up. Try to divide you, take your power away. Nothing's set in stone, the world will change. All right, ladies and gentlemen, shall we do a little bit of singing? It is 2:00 in my time, and I guess Eurovision is currently happening, so if some of you are going to watch Eurovision, have fun. Personally, this year, I'm a big fan of Norway and Latvia. I think those two have a very high chance of winning. I really like Norway's performance, and I like that he had the armor pieces. I was a very big fan of that. All right, what shall we sing? Who hasn't heard Big Bad Wolf in a while? I feel like that would be fun. This is the consequences of my cake. It's all stuck in my throat now. Oh, na 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 na. Try to divide you, take your power away. But how have you guys been enjoying the EP overall? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. What is your favorite song of the track? Nothing's in stone, the world will change. I have my own song stuck in my head. That's bad. That is bad. Okay. Let's see. Oh, hello. Gosh, Big Bad Wolf is just such a throwback. Let's see. I came upon you so sudden, a girl in the midst of the woods. My eyes adjusted to color. I saw Red Riding Hood slowly creeping closer to you. But little did I see the hunter in you. Now, little nightmare, you have beautiful eyes. I can see all the stories where beasts go to die. I'm the bad wolf of fables, my hunger still roars. Come, let me feast upon all that is yours. La, la, dee, dee, da. La, dee, dee, da, dee, da. La, la, dee, dee, da. I wondered how I would catch you. Should I play with my prey? I failed to notice the glint of your knife and the smirk on your face, spark crueler than mine. Now suddenly I see why they call you a monster and not me. Now, little nightmare, you have beautiful eyes. I can see all the stories where beasts go to die. I'm the bad wolf of fables, my hunger still roars. Come, let me feast upon all that is yours. La, la, dee, dee, da. La, dee, dee, da, dee, da. Don't worry, I'll save this live. La, la, dee, dee, da. Let's go to the bridge. I took my chance and came up beside you. I flashed a grin, watched as your eyes grew. I tell you, come closer, you abide my words. I open my maw and fall to the dirt. You've come to take my skin, to wrap my teeth around your throat. You've come to make some coin, to fashion yourself a new coat. And I should have seen it all come close, but the forest hides the truth, and only it will know. Now, little nightmare, you have beautiful beautiful eyes. I can see all the stories where I'll go to die. I'm a bad wolf of fables, my hunger has more. Come feast upon all that is yours. La la dee dee da, la dee dee da dee da, la la dee dee da, oh la dee dee da dee dee da. Live concert, I love it, yes. But, you know, because of the release party unfortunately having to be canceled in Los Angeles, I was like, no, we're going to have that concert whether you like it or not. And you're crying, oh no, don't cry. It's just Big Bad Wolf, it can't hurt you. That was actually my first song that I really was like, I'm gonna be the bad guy in this one. I'm gonna narrate as the bad guy. But I like doing that because you realize not everybody's bad. It's just the situation they're in. It's just sometimes a wolf has to eat, and a wolf, unfortunately, underestimates the little girl, because that happens way too often in society. It's a little bit of female rage right there. I feel so lucky and happy right now. Aww. I'm so glad you do. Shall we do some Dark Earl King, guys? That cake is looking at me, and I'm looking at that cake. You guys gotta see this. Look how pretty it is. Look how pretty. I was really worried there when I was pulling out the candle that the candle, I had a vision of the candle just falling down and setting me on fire. I'm so glad that didn't happen. So glad. All right, kids, let's do some Dark Earl King. This is the first time I'm performing this on Instagram Live. I've performed this one once before. Dun, dun, dun. Eat the cake loaf, I shall not. Tiny feet padding up the steep white camps, lips raised in wonder, not one look back. And mother did warn you of the trouble you bring, going up the mountain to the Dark Earl King. Why? 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 The trees close around you as you make your way, wide eyes glowing from the belly of caves, caught on brambles drawing blood from skin, but you just keep on following the Dark Earl King. I will give you everything your heart desires, candy and cherry cream, just what you like. Nestle in the branch, see the world up high. I will give you everything, just pay the price. Hunters search the village, every knob and nook. Soon they start to run out of places to look. It's the cake. And mother feels terror growing from within. They haven't checked the lens of the Dark Earl King. I will give you everything your heart desires, candy and cherry cream, just what you like. Nestle in the branches, see the world up high. I will give you everything, just. Torches chase away the night, pounding up the path. Come here, my child, just do as I ask. Take my ready hand, leave the world behind. Down into the dark, let your soul be nestle in the branches, see the world up high. I will give you everything, just pay the price. The sun pulls the sky in its wake. A child sleeps the hilltops wrestle with defeated sighs, waiting for the day when your soul is mine. Oh, waiting for the day when your soul is mine. Oh man. That cake got me halfway through. Curse you, cake. Yeah, it is a octave change thingy-mabobber. Caught on brambles drawing blood from skin, you just keep on following, dark Earl King. I will give you everything your heart desires, candy and cherry cream, just what you like. Nestle in the branches, see the world up high. I will give you everything, just pay the price. I see a lot of you saying Bears and Wolves next. But we are celebrating Called on the Dragon, so it should be Called on the Dragon themed, right guys? History is written by winners, rules were carved by the gods. Fate isn't chiseled across the length of a blade. Nothing's set in stone, let your future change. They'll try to divide you, take your power away, but nothing's set in stone, the world will change. Alright, I'm only going to be continuing for a little bit longer. Da-da-da-da. You don't know fear till it's calling from behind. Do-do-do-do-do. But yes, I suppose it's time now. So, on June 13th at the Echo Theater in Los Angeles, California, I have the honor of being the opening act for Jaguar Twin, which is so exciting. So yes, on June 13th at the Echo Theater, I'll be there performing my songs, and you might know some of them. And I'll also be performing some new ones that you have been waiting for so long. There's one that particularly stands out to me, and it goes, well, I shouldn't spoil it. But there's some very, very interesting songs on that set list that I shall be performing. So if you can make it, please do. June 13th at the Echo in Los Angeles. And yeah, and there might be some more stuff coming up soon. I'm really happy about that. Also, if you're attending Heineful on May 29th, I will also be there because they're going to be premiering the Called on the Dragon music video right there. And so if you see me there, say hi. I would love to meet you. Oh, I would love to see you live, but I live in Argentina. Oh no! Well, maybe I just have to come to Argentina then. What I found really interesting about Dark Earl King is that when we were originally singing it, it was very jazzy. It was like, I will give you everything your heart desires, candy and cherry cream, just what you like. Nestle in the branches, see the world up high. Like very bright. I will give you everything, just pay the price. Oh, oh, oh. Super fun. Oh, you live in Canada. I was in Canada just the other month. Alrighty, guys. Okay, there we go. Also, another announcement I am honored to make is I am proud to say that though we are currently celebrating the release of Called on the Dragon, this isn't the only EP we will be celebrating this year, and I am honored to say as well that an EP2 is coming out very, very soon this year, an EP2 with a song that you guys have been begging me for ages, and that song is called Atlas. So stay tuned. With that, I shall be ending today's live. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful time, and if you haven't already, watch the music video of Called on the Dragon on YouTube. There's my channel, Lilith Max, pretty simple. And yes, I hope you enjoy your Saturday, and if you're going to watch Eurovision, I hope you enjoy that as well. Yes, and thank you so much for celebrating Called on the Dragon with me. Truly, it has been amazing. I've gotten way more messages than I can handle about the song. So many of you guys are making videos already, and it's just wonderful seeing something that I've been working on so long, like come to life and be in your arms and be in your ears and be in your minds and your hearts and your souls. So thank you so much for welcoming it with open arms. Truly, I'm so grateful. Yes. Enjoy your Saturday. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye. Bye, everybody.